Can anyone tell me why the shovel was actually the most important invention in the history of mankind? Because it was groundbreaking? Ba-da-da-boom. Anyway, I just wanted to set the tone for this class. We're going to have fun. Welcome to TEM 300, Career Management for Entrepreneurs and Innovators. Essentially what this class is about is I teach you how do you go search for a job, how do you go find a job, and what's going to happen in your career. Now, why am I talking to you? Well, I've got some pedigree. Yeah, I've got a bunch of degrees. My wife likes to joke that there are more letters in my degrees than in my name, Steve Cho. She's actually right. Anyway, I went to MIT as an undergraduate. I have my MBA and my PhD, and everyone asks me, why Ohio State? And this is all I have to say. There was a woman involved. I'll leave it at that. I have a bunch of publications in a bunch of different fields, including 3 in entrepreneurship. Let me tell you, it's hard to write a paper when you don't have any money. And actually, I'm working on a 4th paper right now, which has to do about how universities should get more involved in your career development. I have a whole bunch of patents, most famous of which is probably the microgyroscope, which measures rotation of objects. You've got 3 of them in your cell phone. It's a big enough deal that Steve Jobs talked about it. Thanks to me, you can play video games on your phone. Anyway, you can find my thesis in textbooks. Actually, it's in a couple of textbooks. I was working on smart systems. I was IoT before there ever was an IoT. And so why am I talking to you? Because I had a 30-year career. I'm not an academician. I'm an industry guy, even though I've been here at ASU for 6 years now. And I've worked around different places around the world, primarily Europe and Asia. I've been in 8 different industries. And I started out at the bottom. I started out as a laborer. I actually dug graves. And that was actually a really good job to get because people are dying to get people are dying to get that job. Anyway, I've done all kinds of things such as repoing cars and things like that. But I really appreciate that. And the reason why is I started from the bottom. I understand how hard it is to make money. And so as I've gone up, I always remember who it is that I leave behind. And I started out as a bench engineer, worked my way all the way up the management ladder, all the way up to Chief Technology Officer, the C-suite. And today, I'm a lecturer in the TEM department. What I worked on is 15 years in strategic marketing, 10 years in executive management, and 25 years in product development. So, most people have a vertical career. Like you learn supply chain and you just kind of get promoted. I decided to have a horizontal career. Every job I ever had, I didn't have the foggiest idea of what it was. I didn't know what a gyroscope was. Wasn't that spinning ball thing? And flat panel displays. Yeah, they're nice looking and they're light. And so the reason why I was able to do these things is when you build good core skills, somebody is going to need you. And those are the things we're going to talk about in this class. So I'm going to give you the background. We're going to talk about what drives a career, how do companies hire, and how does your career flow and develop. This is what we're going to talk about in this course. In terms of the syllabus, it's pretty much laid out. I think I cut back on one discussion because you got so much to do and this is only a 1-unit course. So there's only going to be 3 discussions. So you can kind of forget about this one. And it's pretty straightforward what we're going to do week after week. And the way Canvas is laid out is I believe in simplicity. Now for week 0, which is this week, you have a syllabus quiz. You could take it as many times as you want, but I just want to make sure that you actually read the syllabus. And also the academic integrity agreement make sure, you're on the up and up and that you understand that. It's one question you got to answer. Each week, it's pretty much laid out fairly simply. And that's because I don't believe in big complexity. But what are we going to do this week? What are the learning materials, meaning articles I have to read or videos I have to watch? Then the lecture with me talking to you on these videos. And finally, what's your assignment? And the assignments aren't too large because I realize this is a 1-unit class. That first week's test, that's a 5% freebie for you. The assignments are 65. Your final project is 20. Your final project is, I just want you to write out a map of your career. And what do you think you're going to be running up against? What it comes down to is, here's my secret. I'm not a smart guy. But the advantage I have over other people is I just think about things more. Me spending an hour thinking about something is going to beat you thinking about it for 5 minutes. And this is, for example, I got an A+ in leadership, and everybody asked me, what's your secret to this, this, and this? There are no secrets. I just thought about what leadership meant and how you could be more effective. That's all it was. And you have 3 discussion boards. Right now, you don't have discussion groups because I don't know who's going to be in the class until the very first day of class, so I can't very well break you up into teams, but you'll see what team you're going to be on. If there's somebody that in particular you want to work with, just let me know, and I can do something about that. And so, welcome aboard, and we're going to have fun.